What's up, guys? My name is Mason, but you can call me Golden. I hope you guys are all doing well. By now, if you have watched like 3 to 4 of my videos, you can probably tell I have a pretty small circle, and I like it that way. There has been drama, but I feel like in a smaller group, a lot of the time there isn't much. But when there is, okay? And that's what this story's about. This story takes place at the same time my video before the last one took place. The She Lost Her Top, or whatever I titled that one. I'll link that in the description. So it was the very start of summer last year, and I'll just give a little bit of context for people that don't watch that one. Basically, me and my homie Dre were planning to go on this camping trip for quite some time, but we had to wait for like the perfect weekend where all of our friends weren't working and all these things. And there was this one weekend that finally worked out. So everybody was starting to pack up to get ready to go on this camping trip. And this was just a lake that was like 2 hours away. Everyone that went on the trip, it was me, my brother, the antagonist, Dre, like I said, and my homies Ryan, Nevaeh, Lily, Tristan, and then Noah at the time. Nobody had their license yet except for me and my brother. And it was me and Dre that were together at first. His mom was supplying the food and I was driving. And his mom got some banging food, I'm not gonna lie. And we ran through it. We ran through it too. I mean, it was a lot of people, but at the same time, Ryan had a bunch of food and like whatever too. He brought a barbecue. Big ups to homie. Once we were done getting stuff from Dre's house, we went back to my house where my brother, Lily, Noah, and Nevaeh were. And something that had me fuming, to be honest, was I was already pretty full in my truck with stuff for the camping trip, and then my brother decides to load it up even more with everything everybody else brought, and my back seat was like full. I don't really remember what arranging we did to make this work, but we still had to pick up my boy Tristan in a town that was like an hour away. But I don't know, we fit somehow. I don't really remember what down there. But anyway, when we made it to the town that my buddy was at, his mom had him another cooler of shit. Well, we got it fit in the box somehow. And she loaded us up even more, which was so hype because if she didn't, I don't know if we would have made it. I don't know. After that, we went to this A&W that was like a minute away. Basically anything was a minute away in this town. It's very small. So we got some grub there. And then we were all ready to leave. The lake was about an hour from where we were, and to be quite honest, we weren't even sure completely where to go. So once we made it, I had to like slam on the brakes because Tristan pointed it out like last second. It is a pretty interesting way of getting to this campsite, so I don't think it's only because I'm a little bit gifted, but for the most part it's probably that. As we pull in further and actually make it to where all the campgrounds are, we find the most perfect spot. It's like, well, it wasn't even a campsite. We kind of just made it into one. It was one of those roads that splits off from the original one and then meets back up with it. I think they're meant for like turning around in a trailer. Nobody complained about us being there, so whatever. Made for a great camping spot, I'll tell you that. So we set up all of our tents, got all our shit put together, and then it was super hot at this time. I think it was in like the 30 degrees Celsius range. And so I wanted to swim the entire time there. I was kind of being a petty little bitch boy, and my mood was ruined from my brother, but I got over it eventually, I don't know. So we went down to the water, went for a swim, and it was super refreshing. It was pitch black, right? And there was this guy that like pulled up, and we thought he was like our age, but we ended up finding out he was like 25. But he basically just showed us how to get this rope swing that was there with this stick. He was dope. Then we ended up going back up to the campsite, and we were just chilling in the tent, drinking and telling stories. It was a blast. It was really fun. We left the lake at around 12, and then we ended up finishing our conversation around like 3. But everyone went to bed except for me, Dre, and Nevaeh. And I was laying down between them, and I just remember playing Geometry Dash, this one specific level, for like 2 hours straight. I was just trying to get like a little bit above my score that I was getting, because this was a hard level, and I would get like, I don't know, 10, and then I would go for like 15, and then I went all the way up to 30 in the span of like 2 hours. And all in between this, I was just like, Okay, I'm gonna get off after this one. Okay, I'm gonna get off after this one. Okay, I'm gonna get off after this one. And then I finally ended up getting off. They ended up going to bed like a bit before I turned my phone off. And after I turned my phone off, I was still up for like 2 hours. Couldn't sleep. Don't know why. But anyway, the first day was pretty chill. Very enjoyable. I finally forgave my brother. Started being a little nicer. And then when we all woke up, we were ready to get after it. We grabbed a bunch of beer and other drinks. We brought this air mattress that we had so we could float on that on the lake. We basically just had all the equipment to have a great day. So we went to this spot that had a rope swing, and it was out of the way of other people because there was this like beach kind of area where would be, so it was just better to be away from them. And also, it's a fucking rope swing. How could you go wrong with that shit? So we were just hucking backflips all day, doing other tricks and shit off of this rope swing. Ryan is passed out by like noon. He had a little too much Captain Morgan, I guess. And the guy that we met the night before, I'll call him William. And William's campsite was honestly loaded. There's probably like, I want to say like 12 vehicles at it. And it was literally right up from the rope swing area. Anyway, today William brought his girlfriend and then his friend and then his girlfriend. And they were all kind of just chilling with us, having fun on the rope swing and shit, jumping into the water. And they had a bunch of these tubes that they said we could use. But the one that I'm going to talk about in particular was a full send tube by like Nelk Boys. And like they said we could use it. Ryan uses it, except he uses it on the ground. And I don't know, when he sat on it, a stick must have poked it or something. Because that shit deflated like minutes after. So we all felt really bad about that. He didn't really care because he was so drunk. And the people were gone at the time that he did this. And Ryan didn't tell them. And they also didn't say anything about it. So I guess they didn't care. Or I don't know. But anyway, that was pretty funny. At one point, Tristan and Noah take the air mattress to like the middle of the lake. They end up meeting up with these girls in the middle of the lake. And Tristan and Noah lied about their age, and then the girls invited them over to their campsite that ended up being like right across from ours because these girls were like, I don't know, mid-20s. We were all 17, 16, 15. And I say we all pretty much did look like, I don't know, I want to say like 19 to 20. Except for Ryan and Noah. Me, Tristan, and Dre kind of look the oldest. And we pulled this off throughout the entire night. Which is crazy because Noah is like 5'0" and he looks 7. So we left the lake at about like 7. And before we decided to hang out with them, we all kind of like grouped up. And we were basically like actors with these people because we all like lied about our lives and our ages and shit. The younger ones of the group, Ryan and Noah, I think Ryan was like 18 and then Noah was like 17 or something. I was 19. Tristan was 21. My brother was 18, I think. And then Nevaeh and Lily were like 19 as well, I'm pretty sure. But I said I was like graduated and wanted to become a doctor and stuff, and I was going to school for it and shit. Just some bullshit, because that would never happen. I'm not smart enough for that. I'm not going to school for 27 years. Anyway, the one girl that was at this campsite was the most annoying motherfucker I have ever met. I think every single one of us was more mature than her, like 25-year-old ass. It was just non-stop bitching from her. After a few hours of hanging out with them, it was dark now, and we all decided to go skinny dipping. And keep in mind, everybody agreed to this, including my brother. So we all walked down to the rope swing area, and it's pretty much like pitch black. So we're all just like fucking undressing, and we go straight to swinging off that rope. This had to be the funniest fucking thing. Each of the dudes just took turns swinging off the rope butt-ass naked. It was an amazing laugh. For some more than others. Because after like 10 minutes of this, my brother kind of had to ruin it. Well, not kind of. He did. My brother and Lily were not dating, but there was jealousy shown by him that they were. We could barely see each other. It was basically like just silhouettes. But when Lily got into the water, my brother was like, holy shit, put a shirt on. First of all, none of us give a shit. Second of all, we all agreed to go skinny dipping as a fun thing. And lastly, you don't say shit like that. That's kind of wild. And the thing is, he was skinny dipping too. And there was another girl, Nevaeh was there. So it's the exact same thing. Lily could have been like, put your dick away, but she didn't because she has respect. But that kind of made it pretty awkward for a little bit. And we were all kind of like, what the fuck is this deal? And then afterwards, he kind of like stormed off, Lily taking off after him. And we're like, whatever, they can talk. But we all just continue to enjoy ourselves, doing tricks off the rope, triple backflips, 720s all around. My brother and Lily end up coming back. Everything's good, it's kind of back to normal. But I never noticed the anger that had been building up for me. I don't know what I did, but he started getting really mad at me for some reason. But then just trying not to show it. We all end up going back up to our campsite. We all got changed and shit. And the girls across the road were liquored at this point. Tristan stayed with them, by the way. I think it was because he was trying to get with the one annoying ass bitch all night. Anyway, Evan and Lily stayed back talking at our campsite, I think. And Nevaeh, Noah, Ryan, Dre, Tristan, and myself were all just chatting with each other at the girls' campsite for a really long time. Probably like a good 3 hours or something. And my brother and Lily would pop in every once in a while. But then there was one time where Lily comes back and she looked really upset. And I was like, hey Lily, what's wrong? And then she just started bawling. And Nevaeh didn't even really notice at first. So I was like nudging her. I was like, Nevaeh, what the fuck are you doing? Help. And when that happened, I wanted to make sure he didn't like do anything to her or something. So I start walking over to our campsite. And Lily's behind me telling me not to go. And I just didn't listen, to be honest. I just kept walking. So I'm over in our campsite area now. And I'm just like calling for his name. And he just comes out of the darkness like Batman. And he was like, I don't want to hear my fucking name out of your mouth ever again. And I was like, what are you talking about, bro? Why is Lily crying and stuff? And without hesitation, he just left hooks me right in the ear. And I specifically remember it was a left hook because I can picture the ringing that I had in my ear so well. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? And he just doesn't talk. He just keeps trying to swing, but he doesn't really land any more punches. And I don't really remember exactly what happened after that punch because keep in mind, I was pretty obliterated and then I just got domed in the ear. So off-putting. But anyway, I just remember him hitting me, him trying to hit me many more times. And then I was on top of him, like pinned him down. And I could have hit him back, but I didn't because he was drunk. I mean, whatever. I just wanted answers more than anything. And then as I have him pinned down, he just starts crying. And he starts saying some things that are kind of personal that I don't want to say, so I'm not going to. But anyway, I start like crying with him and we hug it out. And I didn't really get much answers from him that I wanted. But I wasn't really thinking about that after that. I was more thinking of the fact that my brother had just domed me in the head for a reason I could not come up with. And then he's kind of cooled down. And the only thing he says is, thanks for not punching me. And in my head, I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. But what I really told him was I had no reason to, which was very identical to him. But I guess he had something on his mind that I don't know. So he goes into his tent, says he's going to go to bed. And then I'm like, are you going to be okay? And he was like, yeah, I'm fine. So I go across the road to the girls' campsite and I'm just kind of silent. And everybody's asking me what happened. And I'm like, I don't really want to talk about it. And I did end up telling them a bit later because I wanted to express the absurdity. But yeah, I kind of just sat there in silence, listening to them talk, trying to enjoy the rest of the night, which was pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot that was on my mind. About a half hour later, my brother walks over and sits beside Lily, and he doesn't say a word. I don't say a word. We're basically just pretending it didn't happen at this point. So we all end up going to bed. When we wake up, everything's left for me, Tristan, and Dre to clean up. And Ryan decided to leave me with this puddle of grease that was left from his like portable barbecue that he brought, or grill, or whatever you want to call it. But that shit was gross. We had to clean up all the tents, all the cans, and just everything that was left. Took us like an hour. And then after that, we just decided to enjoy ourselves for the rest of the day. And we did. And that's what the video I mentioned about at the start is about. Once again, I'll have that linked in the description for anyone who wants to watch it. A little bit of a sequel. But yeah, since that happened, I have asked my brother plenty of times why he punched me. Because I never found, like I could never think of a reason why he would. And with my first time asking him, I was like, bro, I bet you were expecting this question at some point. But man, why did you hit me on our camping trip? Like, I don't get it. And he was like, I don't know. And that was crazy to hear. That's been his response every time. And I've asked him like 3 times. And after it actually happened, I thought he forgot because he didn't bring it up once. But I mean, I wouldn't either if I did that. But I'd never hit a sibling for 0 reason. Or ever for that matter. But yeah, to this day, I've never gotten the answer I've been looking for. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. It's a bit of a long one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to see more, and turn on notifications to not miss an upload. See you guys all in the next one. Later.